Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
But I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise.
It's -1 here, and you could be there. Just think about that. You could do it if you wanted to. Grab his credit card, book a flight, get to an island. Or you could just step into Calvary where it's always warm with great spirit and great fun. How about that tie-in? How about that tie-in?
Oh, man.
Transition.
Wait, Mike, how are we doing today?
Good. Yeah, we're doing well.
Well, and how long has it been since you've been in the studio? It's been a while.
Yeah, you've been
months.
here
We talked
since
about
I have been, but yeah.
Talked about the Grinch a few months ago.
that's
we did
right.
that. Yeah, and kids. But
How'd it go?
Went great. We had a full house, and we had 40 kids on stage singing "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And
Were they looking at their parents pretty fiercely? Is it?
I think so. A few of them were. Yeah.
Well, you know, when you guys came on the first time to talk about Calvary Christian School,
Yeah.
it was really exciting because it was at a point where a lot of people were kind of vocally saying, hey, maybe there's a better option out there.
Right.
And it seems like it really has taken off, and there's a really good community spirit going on over at Calvary.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been thrilled. We launched, of course, back in August. We're in the midst of our first year, and we have 28 students, and we've got students ranging from kindergarten to 10th grade.
Really?
And, and so we've got a lot of great things going. The students seem to really be enjoying it. Parents as well. The families have really bought into what we're doing, and it's been a really good year. You know, we're a classical model school, and classical education is, of course, different from traditional education, and that's been some of what we've been trying to do with families and those who have expressed interest, is just explaining what is classical, how is it different, and it seems to be a great model that's really working for us.
Mike, that's a great question. What is classical compared to traditional school? Because I'm not too familiar with that.
Yeah, well, you want to take that one? Or you want
I
me to
was
take
just kind of, I was just bouncing here because the last
Sure.
time you were on, I didn't dive into what the model would be with you, and that's really important because I didn't know, honestly, I'm not too familiar with the models of education.
Yeah. I'll say one thing, I'll then let Pastor Wade talk about it, but what I love about it most is that instead of going a mile long with education and like an inch deep, not getting too deep, we go a mile deep and an inch wide. Because we want them to be lifelong learners.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great,
absolutely.
I like that.
Well, and one of the things in traditional education, to Mike's point, is that sometimes we do is we try to teach the kids as much as we could possibly think to teach them, and which is kind of that mile wide. But we understand that no matter how much you teach a kid, even in 12 years of education, you can't teach them about every single situation they're going to face in life, right? So if we can teach them not what to think, but how to think, and then they can take those principles and apply them for the rest of their life. And so classical really dives into what's called, unfortunately I have to use the fancy term, the trivium, which just simply means there's three components: grammar, logic, and rhetoric. And so what goes with that then is basically the grammar is just the skills, just the information, the facts and figures of a particular subject. And the logic moves into, okay, how do we understand that more deeply? And the rhetoric then moves into, okay, how do we take what we understand and apply it to something new, not to this problem or situation, but to something different. And that's kind of the whole teaching them how to think. So sometimes they may have a test, and every test that they have has a grammar, logic, rhetoric section. And in that rhetoric section, we may ask our high school students, for instance, a question that there's really no right answer to. We just want them to be able to take what they've learned about it, reason it out, and apply it in a new way.
Well, it's really a fascinating conversation because so many times, especially in school, I mean, how many times do you go and realize how little you needed your equations, for life? Because I don't remember any formula from my Algebra 2 class. I'll just be honest with you. Now, granted, I chose media, so I don't need to use it, but it goes into that logic where there's so many times where you're given all this information, it's overloaded, it breaks these kids down to the point where it's like, it's too much, especially for folks that are in high honors and all that, and the public school setting, it's just debilitating. But here, you're right, because you're going to get thrown so many things in life.
Yeah.
You don't know what job you're going to have in 10 years. And if you think you do, I wish I had your life, because I mean, it's just, you never know what happens tomorrow.
Right.
But you need to know how to approach situations. So I get your idea here and the thought behind this.
Yeah.
how do you manage the situation? What skills do you have to solve the problem in that particular subject? And you go from there, and that gives you a base for really anything that you can encounter. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, I think the other part that's really exciting about classical is it's all integrated. So we have a class called Integrated Humanities, which basically is their literature, their English, their history, their Bible in our context, and it's all in one class, and it all fits together according to the time period. So like this first year, our school is in the ancient time period, so all of our literature, all of our history is all in that particular period of time. And so if they're reading a book, like in a few weeks, our oldest class is going to be reading Julius Caesar. Well, if they're reading Julius Caesar, then they're going to be studying the history of ancient Rome. They're going to be looking at portions of the Bible that speak about that particular time. And so they're not going to a history class and studying World War II and then going to a literature class and reading, To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's all kind of disjointed.
Right.
It's all integrated together, so that they're all studying, reading kind of the same thing at the same time.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what have you seen so far with that? I mean, how long did it take maybe for the students to adapt to that? Because that is a tough thing to adapt to.
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. So we had, I mentioned we had 28 students, and we probably had about a third in terms of homeschool, other private schools, and then public schools where kids came in. And so, like you said, all kinds of different, backgrounds and things that they're used to in education. And so, it's definitely taken some time, but I think they're really enjoying it from the standpoint of there's a lot of discussion. The classical model is definitely not one where they come and just sit in a desk and receive information. They are very much a part of the classroom as much as the teacher is teaching them.
Right.
And so I think they've enjoyed that. It takes some time to get used to that, because you've got to read, you've got to prepare, you got to come prepared to actually have something to offer, right? If there's going to be discussion. And they're adjusting to that, but I think they're enjoying it.
That's what I was kind of curious on more than anything, because it seems like, and I'm not putting words out there, just my interpretation hearing you, there's got to be accountability on the students with this model too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got to be able to take the bull by the horns, because and what I was used to is, here's the tasks that you're given, complete them, and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to give you a packet and then just bring it back. It's discussion, like Pastor Wade is saying. It's getting kids to think, and our teachers do a great job of doing that, of discussing, putting things on their feet, and getting kids to think for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we always say it's not education by worksheet. They're not just given a sheet of paper and answer these questions or complete these problems and turn it back in. It's there's a lot more to it than that in terms of their involvement. Yeah.
Well, and what is the school hours? Are they the same as normal? Like, is it the same?
Yeah, so we're a 4-day-a-week school, so we meet Tuesday through Friday, and
there's an incentive already.
Yeah. So, but within those days, it's a normal day. We start kids start arriving at 8, and we get going at 8:15, and then the school day runs till 2:30. But so it's a Tuesday through Friday. We do offer a Monday add-on program. Certainly, their families, both parents are working outside the home. They have to have something to do with their kids on Monday, and so we have several families that take part in that, and so there's a program for them. Within that, on Mondays, we offer what's called an enrichment program. So every Monday from 10 to 12, and we open it up to all of our students, homeschool families, where we try to teach some sort of skill. Like October, we did cooking, and so every Monday we had cooking classes from 10 to 12, and we've done, I think we've got industrial arts. We've got a drama club coming up, and just every month is something different, and so we do that on Mondays as well, just as kind of an added program.
This is great. Well, and honestly, it's so fascinating to hear just the evolution of it in such a quick amount of time too, because you guys really developed this and worked hard on it, and to see it really come into fruition and folks enjoying it's great. Now, how do classes work? That's what I'm fascinated about too.
Yeah.
So when we get to like 9th grade, 10th grade, does it change at all? What's the structure look like for that student?
Sure. So right now, this year, for instance, we have 3 learning levels.
Okay.
We'll have more than that next year as we have more students. And so for this year, there may be a range of like kindergarten through 2nd grade.
Gotcha.
3rd through 5th grade.
Yeah.
And so on. And as we grow, of course, those learning levels will be more spread out. But for the way we do like a humanities class, and that's been one of the great things. There may be kids this year from 11 to 14 in that one group, and it's been really interesting just to watch them learn from each other, to watch them help each other. There's some separation in math.
Right.
Our older kids are broken out in math. The younger kids, we have math breakouts because that's where you do have to be a lot more, age and grade specific.
Yeah. Man, this is cool. I am really liking what you guys are doing here.
Yeah, we love it.
Well, and if you all are too, there's a couple of opportunities to come and be a part of Calvary Christian School. Open enrollment starts. I wish you would have done it on Tuesday because that's my birthday. And I would have been like, we could have called it the CJ Nasello birthday month enrollment extravaganza. I was really hoping that's maybe next year. But open house, though, is February the 15th from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. And what can we encounter there?
Yeah, so open house, they'll have an opportunity to meet the teachers, see curriculum, see samples of what some of the work looks like, as well as just receive some more information about classical education. What is it? See our facility. That was one of the things we kind of missed out on last year because the area of our building where the school has been completely renovated.
Oh, has it? That's cool.
And we were finishing the renovation a week before school started, last year. And so all of these families that signed on early on, it was a construction site. So we didn't really get to show them, hey, this is what it's going to look like until up until school. So we're excited this year. We can actually, families that are interested in the school, we can actually give tours and show them where we are and what it looks like. So
really incredible. Now, do you all do like assistance or anything like that for tuition? Is it still too early in the game? No,
we do. Yeah, we have a financial aid process. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, we sure do. And we give discounts for multi-family, multi-student families. We've got some families that have 2 or 3 or even 4 students in the school, and so we do provide that. But one of the things we do that's a little bit different in terms of just enrollment, the first step for us is a family interview. So there's a place on our website where families can, on the enrollment page, they can request an interview, and it's really just a chance for them to get to ask us questions. It's not so much about us interviewing them as it is them interviewing us, and being able to ask us questions about the school and about classical education and what it looks like, and it just gives us a chance to get to know the families at the start of that process. So
really cool. Well, and I think it's so important though, because you really do need to have those conversations, and that may for any family that's already there and wants to go, that it's a I don't want to say vetted, but it is a vetted
sure,
because you don't want to have individuals, not saying that anyone could be bad coming in, right, but just maybe the vision's not aligning perfectly,
yes,
and I think that's important conversations to have.
Yeah, in the same way you go to a college or a new school, right, or something, that always helps put the parents at ease. One more thing I'll say about Calvary Christian School in this first year, one of the many things we were pleased about, and we were just talking about this the other day, is that the kids have really grown into a big family, and we're looking to grow that family. Every morning we have chapel, and we it's kind of like a set for the day, like, okay, here's what we're doing, and let's pray about it, and let's go get them.
Right.
And you see the older ones mentoring, shepherding the younger ones. You see the younger ones getting involved and dancing around with the older ones when we do movement time, and so there's a lot of exciting things happening at Calvary Christian.
Well, and CJ, how do I get to Calvary's website? Well, listener, that's a wonderful question. I'll just take you there right now. Look at how great this website looks. CalvaryChristianAlton.com. Enrollment for the 2025-26 school year will be open January the 27th. You see that on the screen. Plus, I click on this tab, don't I? Admissions?
Yes, sir.
Enrollment. And then we request that interview. Look how easy this is. If I can do it, you can do it. I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at
We got
here.
some local tech support here. Need it.
right.
Can you please answer the survey when this call is done? You know, that's
Yes. Yeah.
But, you know, with that being said, the open house is February the 15th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Do we need to register for the open house? Is it just come as you go?
Either way, there
Okay.
is a place on the website under our upcoming events tab where you can register ahead of time so that we know you're coming, or you can just show up.
And if they play upward basketball, which hundreds of the kids do anyway, and they're going to be here, they should just come. And if they're interested or looking for a new
Bingo.
school, come on by, because that's on one of our upward basketball game days.
Mike coming in for just the grand slam right there. How about it? Well, and how's just Calvary overall before? I know we're talking about the Christian school today,
Sure.
but 25 minutes in, and I want to make sure we get the whole scope of things, because Calvary at large is doing some great work.
Yeah, things are going well. We're busy in ministry, and which is what we want to be. Mike mentioned our Upward program. That's the game day start this Saturday. I think we have
Hundreds?
270 kids this year.
Gosh,
Yeah,
dang, that's incredible, Mike.
They're either playing, I think maybe about
Gosh.
210 or so playing basketball, and about 60 cheerleaders, something like that.
Wow.
So, yeah, so we've got a lot of kids, a lot of families. People will be in the building on weekends the next couple of months, and so we've got that going. And we're doing well.
Tell us your secret, Mike. How'd you get 200 kids and upward?
It's God for anything
Good
we
answer.
do in our
That's
right.
church,
It's
and that's
not
not.
us.
It sounds like a cliche, I
Well,
know,
it does-
but it really is
but
true.
you're
Like
right,
we couldn't
though.
do anything without the Lord, and we have hundreds, I would say, of volunteers that give of their time
Yep.
to come in. And I could show you a video of one of our life group leaders. His name is Dan, and he's coached for, I guess, ever since the
A long,
program.
long time. Yeah.
And he's out there running with the kids in circles this weekend. And we have dozens of people like Dan that just come in and run with the kids and pour into them.
Is there still time to register for Upward? Closed?
It's
closed.
closed
Oh, that's
because
okay.
the season does
Yeah.
because the season starts Saturday. But we're excited to see.
Come
what
see a
comes of
game,
that.
and you know
Right.
what? Get it in mind for next year. We have VBS coming up this summer, and a lot of programs for kids and students that they can get involved in.
Well, I know we'll be talking about that again soon. But, you're right, though, when you go back to it, because, you're building a school. It doesn't, you don't get this good of a year starting off very often. And it means you're putting the faith in the right places, I think, really is. Going forward, did you have a goal for, how many you'd like to add next year?
Well, not necessarily numerically. We are certainly looking to add another elementary learning level, which would give us 4.
Right.
And then as of right now, just with our current students, we'll have 6 high schoolers, and we've already got some interest from families for high schoolers for
Really
the
cool.
fall. And so we're hoping next year or this coming fall to be able to separate our high school out into a separate level all their own. And so we're excited about that. We're already interviewing some teachers in anticipation of that. So, that's the hope.
942 to answer your question
Yes.
is our goal.
Open enrollment does start January the 27th. It does start, like I said, we took you through how to request that interview, and just make sure that you follow those prompts to schedule that family interview. It's really easy to do. We'll link everything on RiverBender.com to do
Great.
so.
Thank you.
But the open house, February the 15th, 9 a.m. until 12 noon. See what Calvary Christian School is all about and how it could really just maybe add that next level of education for your kiddos in your life. Anything else before we go for 30 minutes? We are flying today.
Yeah,
25.
absolutely.
We're booking it.
Cold weather.
It is, and it's
Promise.
crazy. No energy drinks for the last couple of days. I don't
Really?
know.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah, I
no
did
energy
notice
drink.
that.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I look disheveled. I'm going through withdrawals.
Yeah, you need a Nas or something in here. Wow.
It's too cold. It's cold when I'm not going in to get an energy
Congratulations. That's
drink. My hairspray did freeze today, though. I don't think my hair will move for a couple of days.
mine did too.
We'll take a quick break at 9:34. CalvaryChristianAlton.com/enrollment to schedule a family interview. We'll link everything on RiverBender.com. You stay there. I'll stay here after a quick break.